Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a Hangman program written in a programming language called 10th that's similar to 4th. We implemented the compiler and interpreter, so if there's any problems down at that level, we have some work to do. All right, we're going to start today doing some screen drawing. All right. So we left off saying we want to draw the scaffold. And I think we sketched out a little bit an approach. Right. So this is saying at line 10, column or row 10, column 35, draw the scaffold. And we want the scaffold, let's get back to that picture. It's this piece up here. Okay. So my thought is that routine would take an array of strings and each string would become a line on that thing. So I think to make that work, we really do need these to be computational rather than strings. So, well, like I said, we're the ones that have to do it. Okay, so let's see, print. Okay, dot print. Notice it's printing a space. And we could define a new word that didn't print the space, but you know what? I think it's just us chickens. Let's take the space out. There may be a test that fails. There probably, well, I was going to say there probably should be, but it's an IO thing, so there probably is not. But let's run our tests anyway. Okay. Good. All right. And we'll run our REPL. 2 print is just 2. 2, 3 print is going to be confusing. Oh, our print does not delete. 2, 3 print pop. Okay. So 3 was first, then 2. Okay. So I think that'll do it for us. Let's commit that. Make dot no longer print a space after its number. Okay. And so we'll run our REPL. And let's see, do we want everything here? Well, we need to adjust these to 40, 10, 35. Okay, now I think we can, well, let's take everything and paste it. All right. Now, if I type screen clear, it should clear the screen. I don't think that involves any of those. If I type row 7, column 40, screen move to, and then I print hello, print and pop. Okay, so this should print hello somewhere around the middle of the screen. Boom. Okay. Let's go back to screen move to. Oh, he probably prints a. Yeah, he prints these as strings. Okay, escape is fine. This is a string, but dot should just be print and pop. That's a string. This should be print and pop. All right. So 740 screen move to hello, print and pop. There we go. All right. Cool. Okay, so let's see. What do you draw the scaffold? Okay, well, I don't. Well, what I want the scaffold to be array of strings. Okay, so we do that by saying array. And let's go look at the picture. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. Okay, so let's do that. We'll need an 8th line for the 0 line at the end. Okay, so that will make a scaffold array. And then we'll need a scaffold init. We've got to populate the array. Okay. And, well, that can start out empty. Now, do I need to... I don't know. This is trying to figure out if I should test things. I don't normally test that somebody gives me an array of strings that's the actual strings I expected. That seems a little too redundant for me. But I would like to put some strings in there. Okay. Now, yeah, so I can do that. I can put each string in. I think this is, yeah, these are separate characters. That all right, so this is well, we want to put an array. Well, let's see, we got to look this up. Mem sub c sub b, so it's array index value. Okay, so array 0 is this. Array sub 1 is, I think it's bar less than. Is that right? Yeah. Oh no. It's got that part too. Okay. Array sub 2 is bar. I think the rest of them are. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. Empty string. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have I counted wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it was only 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay, so this should be empty. These all need this on the end. Okay. And this should not be array, it should be scaffold. Okay. See, I lost my comments here. Okay. Well, is that gonna work? Yeah, I think so. All right. We're back here. Okay. Scaffold 0 at plus should be dot dollar pop should be boom. Golly. Oh, everything is okay. Oh, well, okay. I defined it but didn't access it. That is a bad access. Okay. Make REPL. Let's get these two lines again, or two instructions. Okay. So if I do scaffold init, and then I do scaffold 0 at plus dot dollar print dollar pop. Oh, do I? Oh no. Okay. Well, scaffold 0 at plus dot dollar arrow. Oh, I don't define that? Okay. Scaffold 0 at plus dot dollar. Right. Okay. And let's go fix this. Yeah, I think this lack of, well, we don't have a for loop per se, and we don't have, I would love to be able to pass a function to another function. So if I could have something that says iterate from 0 to 7 and do this, that would be kind of nice. But we don't. Okay. Well, I think that's getting us close. Let's do this again. I don't think I have to. I think I'm just overriding the array with this. Okay, so scaffold 0 at plus should be the first string. Print. Oh, didn't call scaffold init. Ugh. Okay, scaffold 0 at plus dot dollar pop should print that underscore string. Okay, scaffold 7 at plus dot dollar pop should print an empty string. Good. I guess I could check 6 just to be careful. Good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, the draw command. It's really string array, column row. Okay. I don't know if this is in our range or not, but oh man, this is painful. I want to test drive this at some level, but having that lack really makes it hard. Like, how do I substitute a function, you know? I mean, do we need to add that? Yeah, I do have a while loop. Yeah, maybe that's, we don't have a length. Um, okay. Well, yeah, the thing is, like, I'd like my draw. So I want to say, 1035. Well, I want to say scaffold maybe I want to say it the other way around, column row 1035. But in any case, one way or the other, I want to say that. And then I want it to draw the first line on line 10 and the second on 11 and the next one 12 and so on down the page. And I can do that, but they're all draws now because I've lost that ability. I don't know. It's like I've been working on a book on object-oriented programming, and one of my themes is like substitution is kind of a critical thing about objects. And being able to substitute objects or even functions is a very useful thing. And here I am. I've got something that's going to do a screen move to and a draw, right? I mean, or a print. That's very clear. But the thing it calls, I mean, that thing I'm calling there, I don't have a way to pull that out into its own function. Now we could imagine it, right? I could make a string. Maybe we should do this. I don't know. Yeah, it might be nice to have that array size in the data structure. I was actually thinking about that. Like, we could write the size first and then array sub 0, but only return the pointer to array sub 0. And if you had to, you could go back and figure out, array sub -1 effectively is the size. For us, my commitment is the last line we want to print in an array is going to be an empty string. So there's something going on there. All right, so let's see. Even here, I've set it the other way around. So let's do it this way. Well, no, that's backwards, isn't it? Okay. Whoops. String array. Because I push row, then column, then string array, and then call draw. Okay. Well, the simplest thing for now, right? I could just draw it. I could do well, I could do CAB. Let's see, how do I do that? Yeah, I could do, well, what do I want string move to? I lost my screen stuff. There it is. Screen move to, you do row call. It's actually not right. It's actually in is column row, and we do a swap right away. Okay, so if I did that here, I mean, I could do CBA, and that would put the let's see, 40. So I have 1035 scaffold. Now I'd have scaffold 3510. Sorry, I have scaffold 3510. I want to get the 1035 on this. So if I do, I think I want to do, is it BCA? Is that one of our commands? Oh, we have CBA. We don't have BCA. Okay. Let me make one. Okay, so CBA is put the, no, not CBA. I have A, B, C. I want BCA. Okay, so this is BCA. And the input ABC goes to BCA. All right, so it's sort of like our rotate. It's kind of rotating the other way. All right, so if you do CAB, CAB that brings C to the front. Well, is it just two CABs? Okay, so ABC goes to CAB, goes to BCA. Yeah, okay. So let's say I did BCA first. I probably will when I get the counter in. I just want to I want to draw the first line and start there. So screen move to, all right. So I have, at this point, I have string array on the top and the others are consumed. And if I do dot dollar pop, well, I think we should keep our usage there. Okay, then that will print the first line and call it a day. Okay, so let's I'm just gonna quit this. Oops, make REPL. I want to start from scratch just to make sure I'm not screwing things up. Okay, so I'll call scaffold init and then 1035 scaffold draw. Well, what the heck is that? That is a round thing. Well, let's do some checking. Okay, so if I have 3, 2, 1, then I have 1, 2, 3 on my stack, and if I call BCA, I should have I should get 2 first, and then if I do dot pop, I should get 1. No, BC, I should get 3, and then I should get 1. Okay, so I think BCA is working. I don't even think, is it a parend? Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, it is that font. Now, okay. Oh, scaffold. Yeah, I got to access it. Move to, I've got the pointer to the string array. Well, I have to do 0 swap. No, just 0 at plus, then that. Okay, so let's modify draw. Okay, and then do this. Okay, that's better. I think it's probably because it had the address of the array on top of the stack, it's probably some representation of the pointer to the array, and the first byte just happened to be a visible character. Okay. Where's my screen clear? Okay. All right. So I think that's, I mean, that gives me one piece. I don't know, this substitution thing is really bugging me. I mean, it means we can't test. It means we have to test manually on this stuff. But maybe that's okay. For now, we'll deal with it. All right, but what I do have, well, I have a one line drawing, but I'll print the first line of any array of stuff you give me. That's something. All right, so now we need to make a while loop out of it. Okay, and this is sort of the inner thing. Well, I guess before you, well, somehow we have to take the string array, which is on top of the stack. We want to look at the string. I guess we need an index. Ugh. Keeping this stuff straight is really tough. Well, yeah, I need an index because I got to do an at plus on the index. Okay, so I'm going to push a 0. All right, so now my stack is 0 array call row. All right. I want to do a while. Okay, so while do odd, something's going to happen. All right. Yeah, this is just bigger than I'm happy to be doing, but I don't see a way. Okay, so while let's do let's move the the string array is on top. Let's duplicate that because we're going to destroy it in a moment here. So we got array call whatever. Okay, so we want to call array, no, 0 array. We want to call at plus. Okay, so that gives us the first string. And then if that thing is empty, well, I don't know. All these things. We have so little. All right. We also want to count the length, right? We knew we wanted that. Now's the time we have to do it. Okay, so the length of a string, and that's it says string ... goes to count, and we want it to be non-destructive, I think. Okay, so let's do it that way. All right, so you've got a string, and we're going to do, well, we did something with it. Didn't we do a while already? Yeah, this mess. Okay, that's too much. Okay, so we're going to take the string, and then we had head dollar. So we got to do, let's duplicate the string, head dollar. All right, so head dollar pushes the rest of the string and the character on the stack. All right, so the character's last. All right, let's do that. While head dollar and then that's putting, if that character is 0, well, let's do an easier one. Let's do isEmpty dollar. Okay, that might be very much easier. Okay, so we're going to duplicate it because head consumes it. and then we're just going to check it. Okay, so duplicate it, take the head, look at the character. If, well, equal that, if that's an empty byte, then we're going to stop. Okay. If it's empty, we have, well, here we have string goes to byte string, or byte reduce string, and then if it's 0, then it's an empty string. So we still have the reduced string on top. So we'll pop that. And then, well, no, we had this before. This happened before. So right now, equals 0 is 1. We've got one empty string original string. So we want to, oh gosh, I don't want to consume it. All right, if it's 0, I should just do the cases and stop fussing. I can optimize it better once I get it. Okay, so we'll pop off. Let's keep track of our stack here. It's string, character, string prime, and string. And then equals 0 is Boolean, string prime, string. Okay. Well, we don't really need that string prime. Okay, so let's do a swap here and a pop, and we're left with char string. Okay, and then equals 0 checks it for Boolean. If it's 0, then we just want to leave the 1 on the stack. Else, we're going to push a 0 on the stack. Okay, so we don't have to do anything. Good. All right. They're supposed to be easier, right? So duplicate the top string, take the head, swap and delete. So that's really, it's really delete the second item. I wouldn't be surprised if pop 2 is kind of a familiar thing. That gives us the character and the original string, and equals 0 gives us the Boolean string that we want. Okay. Yes, that seems better. Okay, so we look up the string. And if it is empty, well, okay, is empty dollar not? Okay, maybe that goes on one line. Not. Okay, so if it's not is empty, then we're going to do something. Well, that's print. Okay, so let me keep these straight. All right, so I got 0 array column row. I look up. All right, that consumes the 0 in the array, but it puts a string there. I've still got array column row. Okay, is empty replaces the string with a Boolean. Array column row. Okay, and do pops the Boolean array column row. So we're kind of back where we started with the array on top. Okay, and now BCA pushes the array to the bottom Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, BCA pushes the array to the bottom and does a move to. Now, we need those numbers. So let's do a dupe 2. Okay, and now we have, whoops, I want to do the BCA and then dupe 2. Okay, so it goes from column, row, array, and then it's column, row, array. Okay, now screen move to consumes those. Puts us to column, row, array. And then if we do CAB, get the array back on top. Okay. We do at 0 at plus, well, I want to edit it before I do that. Okay. If I do 1 plus, no, I do swap 1 plus. That's going to increment the row. Now row prime, column, array, and then I think we want array, column, row. So we'll do a CBA and get to array, column, prime, row. Okay. Print our string. CBA isn't right. I don't know. This is too hard. I've got to keep that counter around too. So, I don't know. Do we need a 4 next? That would give us. Well, at plus. Okay. I don't know. I'm spending all my time swapping the stack around. It just gets confusing. Add plus loads the string from the array. That's good. isEmpty not. Somehow we need to do that right before do. But we'd like to have that 0. Oh, maybe I don't need a 0. Yeah, I guess I either need the original row number or a 0. Okay, so somehow I got to do 0, 0, put the 2 zeros out. Okay. Yeah, this is messy. I mean, what's a smaller byte? I guess one thing I can do is a draw at. Draw at. Okay. And what's that? Well, you're going to give me Are you going to give me an index? Index array row column row. Okay, I'm going to consume the index. Could he leave me index plus? Well, if I had this, I would do at plus dot dollar pop. That consumes the string, and I would just draw it there. I guess I would need to do a move to first. I don't have access to the fourth thing though, so maybe you give me the string. Okay. String column row. That seems like a thing. Okay. And I'm going to do a move to. Screen move to. Takes column row. Okay. So I'm going to do C BCA. Okay, so that gives me column row string. And I'll do screen move to, which this just goes to dot dot dot. It consumes those. Okay. So that just leaves the string on top. All right, we'll leave the rest. Okay. We print the string. Sorry. We print the string and pop it. String column row. We will get things in the right order, move to the position, and print and pop. Okay, that seems like a thing. That's only the inside of the loop though, but it's something. Okay, so somehow if we get to draw at, we want the line above it to say string column row. And at the end, it will say whatever's beneath. Okay, we'll have to fix that. Golly. Okay. I don't know. Okay, we're going to consume the index. We only have the array once for starters. If I said I want index of the array drawn if it's valid, and then increase. Okay, so here I'm going to duplicate the index. And now I have index, index, array, call, row. All right. And if I did CAB, I would have array, then 2 copies of the index. Okay. Well, we need to keep the array around, so I'm going to dupe it here. Now we have array, column, row. This is a little twisty thing. Okay, so if I have this 0 array, dupe and cab, I'm going to get array. I have index array. I'm going to duplicate it. I get index index array array. And then this will still be here. Okay, at plus will consume array and index and replace it with a string. Okay, isEmpty string index array column row. Index array column row. Okay, isEmpty string is going to change that to a bool, and then we'll come in here with index array column row. Now, it seems like draw at needs the string, right? And we don't need it anymore after that, but we do need the array. It needs the string in the column row. I don't know. This is working too hard. So what will simplify this? Well, I want to avoid a variable if I can, but it may just be that much easier. At some point, I want to call draw at. Okay, that seems reasonable, and that's going to kind of take care of some of this. It'll take care of that. Okay, so this draws the line. Now, I'll tell you, there is something that fourth has that we don't have. we kind of have. You know, we have that control stack where you push like while to match it up with the do, and then the end, and the if with else, and so on. In fourth, there are verbs that let you move something from the top of the normal stack over to the control stack, as long as you put it back before you exit the routine in any sense. I mean, I guess before you exit this routine, you can call somebody and have it there, but you can't exit the routine. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing that makes that very, very useful. I could slide something over to the other stack and keep them around there. Now, this index... I mean, this phrase is something, right? I mean, it takes, we want to give it array index. Sorry, index, then array, and then it looks up the value at that thing and decides if that string is empty. But I guess the thing is, I want this 0. I gotta have that index around as a counter, so I have to do something with him. Golly. So this bool index array column row, that is the information I need to keep going. So at line 138, I think I have the right information, which is good. Now the problem is I want to do a draw at, but I want that index I mean, maybe I need to give in to the fact that I need four things. And then we could have like a DCBA that swapped the four things, reverse the top four entries, and then you could get to the top three. So yeah, because really when I call draw at, I want index to be on the bottom, and I kind of need string, column, row around still. Ugh. Okay. Well, let's say I'd done the draw at. What would I have to do? Well, I need to increment row. I need to increment index. Keep row column in an array. Yeah, although then well, yeah, it would be one less thing to worry about. So, and it wouldn't be impossible. I mean, it does solve the problem of only accessing three things if I can keep row column in slot 3 instead of slots 3 and 4, I may be okay. All right, so draw at given string column row. Okay, so string. Well, I think I want to do a dupe here. String index array. Oops, string index array column row. Okay. Now I have bool. Oops. One too many. Bool string index array column row. And then I have string index array column row. If I could flip that around, so I want something that's like BCDE goes to DEBC or something. I'm 5 elements down. Ugh. But I need column and row. And I need index. That's the bummer. Okay, I don't know. I feel like I want to just divert to something else unless I can think of a method to, like, if there's a little primitive we could implement that would simplify all this, I'd be for it. I could certainly go to a variable. Keep a bunch of values in an array. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to use variables, though, I may as well just create a variable for the index and keep that alive. Maybe that would be the easiest thing. Maybe let's try that. I feel like the index is really in the way here, and that's just not helping anything. So we'll say variable draw index. Okay. And then in here, we come in, let's initialize that to 0. Draw index gets 0, assign. Okay, so now, let's see, this comes out. I don't need index in here. I'm going to take the index out and then we'll see if we can manipulate things enough. Okay. Well, the other one is the column doesn't change. That might be nice too. All right, we're going down this path. Let's do variable draw column and initialize that too. That is swap draw column at equal. Nope. That's swap gives me, okay, swap. No, I think the best is to do draw column. Now I have draw column string with column. I'm going to do ACB. Gives me the column, then the thing, and then add equals. Consumes that. Okay, so now I've got the index set to 0, the draw column set to the column. Let's see what we can do if that helps things. All right, now I'm gonna say let's not duplicate this unless we need to. All right, so going in, we have string array row. Is that right? So draw index pushes the 0 and consumes it. Draw column pushes the variable, swaps the column and the string array. So it's variable column string array row. And then we're left with string array row. Okay. And then, all right, so now given the string array and the index, okay, so we're going to take string array is on top. Let's push the index. Sorry, let's duplicate the string array, push draw index, and get its value. All right, and then at plus. Okay, so let's see what that does. I'm just gonna call it array row. Draw index at will push an int array row. Okay. At plus will turn that into, oh no. Int array. I mean that feels okay. We definitely want to do an at plus. We're trying to find sorry, this is array. Okay, I'm feeling better. Okay, at plus looks up in that thing gives us string array row. All right. Now, string array row, well, we want string column row. Okay, so if we do string array row, we want to get A, C, B again. Well, for this time anyway. Okay, and now we have string row array. Where did the second array go? We just have one. Or maybe, oh, that access I was screwing up. Okay. And if I do string row array, if I were to get the column in there, I could call draw at. Okay, so let's get the column in there. Draw column at pushes column string row array, and swap turns it into string column row array. Okay, and then draw at takes care of that, and he consumes. Now, could I leave the row there? I mean, draw at, if it left the row, it would be kind of handy for me, right? Because I need array and row going into my while loop. Okay, so let's make him return the row. Okay, so column row string. All right, so if he returns the row, string column row, sorry. I think my do is supposed to be here. Okay. And this stuff is the old. Okay. So string array row, ACB, no. I'm closing in. If this thing produced row array, then that would be pretty close because we're just backwards. Okay, so let's make draw at do that. So what does it need to do? Well, it's got the row in the third position. Okay, BCA brings the row forward. All right. Now if I do BAB, that duplicates row, column, row, string, and I'm screwed. Okay. Right, so we got string column row. If I swap it, I can BCA. Let me try a different one. If I do CAB, then I get row, column, string. Okay. And then I have to get to column row before it's done, but I'm going to duplicate this and then that gives me row, column, string. Okay. And what I really would like, let's make it row prime. Let's increment that row. Okay. So if I do 1 plus, now I have row prime, row, column, string. Okay. And if I move C, B, A, if I flip them, then I have column, row, row prime, string. Okay, now we're getting there. Now I do screen move. That takes off that and leaves row prime, string. So I can do a swap and a print, and I got it. Okay. Cool. All right, I can say this like this maybe. Okay, so this, I hesitate to call it a function exactly, but it kind of is. It takes these arguments and it returns the next row you want to write. Okay. All right, so let's pick up from here. I'm sorry, let me start again. I got this. I set 0, I set column, and I'm left with string array row. I come in here, I duplicate the array, I bring in draw index and load its value. So that loads the value of draw index into array. And then I do an at plus, which gets the indexed value, and I have the string in the array. Okay. And then I want to, did length dollar consume it? I think we said it didn't. I don't know where I put it. IsEmpty dollar. No, it does not consume it. It just puts a Boolean on there. Okay. So if I say isEmpty dollar not, okay. So that also leaves string array row. Okay. I think we're getting there. All right. So we now only do the loop if this current string is not empty. Okay. And we got string array row. We swap it around string row array. We bring in the column to the top of the stack. We swap, and now we have string column row array, and we draw it, and draw it gives us row plus 1. Okay. Now I think we just have to do a swap. Well, no, we got to do an index. Okay, so swap gives us array row plus 1, and then we need to move index forward. Draw index at gets its value. Index array row plus 1, and 1 plus. Did we make a 1 plus operator? I don't think we did. No. Or plus 1. Okay. 1 plus draw index add equal. Does that work? Does add equal mem sub a equals b? Well, that sounds right. So it'll pop that index off the stack. We'll be left with array row plus 1. Okay. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, I don't know. I feel like this is backwards. Let me check add equals. Main. Assign. pop the value, then pop the address, then store. Okay, so it's really values on top. Let's see. Is that what our thing said? Add equals. No, this is wrong. I think I can edit it. Over here, maybe. Mem sub b equals a. All right, I think that's more similar. And then pop both. Okay. So need a swap in there somewhere. Maybe we'll array row plus one. Okay. All right. Let's take this all. Do make REPL. Okay. So in principle, I should be able to say 10. Well, let's say screen clear 1035 scaffold draw. So that's almost like ridiculously predictable for us. I've got to find a way to simplify this. Well, this is wrong. This is bool. Okay, so we got these variables. Array row, draw index at gets the value into array row. At plus gets value sub array sub int, makes a string. And then isEmpty dollar bang checks it. Okay. Maybe draw index at print let's say here print draw index 0 print pop. It's my cheapo debugging code. Maybe I should say debug. Okay, so I want to print the string debug, then I want to print the draw index every time through the loop before it crashes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's like, I don't know. There's a lot of logic in this. There's a lot of rotational logic as far as the stack, and then there's conditional logic for the loop. It makes me feel like there's just a lot going on. Okay, so I expect to see some debugs. Not really. Okay. Well, that almost says something's going wrong beforehand. Here's another one. Dot, 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 colon, dot, dot, dot. I want to see the top three things on the stack. And I want them to print. It's colon, dot, dollar, pop. Okay. Now I'm going to print the top as a number, dot, space, print. And then CAB will BCA will rotate the second item to the top. Do the same thing. And then BCA will bring the third item, third object to the top, print it. BCA. So I do 3 rotates, pushing the A to the bottom 3 times. That should bring everything back where it was. Okay, so I have some debugging code now. Non-destructive, print the top 3 things on the stack, and I guess I want a new line after it. Okay, so I can come in here and print dot, dot, dot. Let's make REPL. Do all this stuff. 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, dot. Should print stack colon 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Yes, that's correct. All right. Okay, so now we have that debugging. And I'm going to print in here. Okay. And maybe I'll say while dot dollar at and this. Okay. And this will be init dot dollar at arrow that. Okay. I should see something from all this. Okay, so 1035 scaffold draw. Bang, right away. So it's buying before the variables. Yeah. All right. Let's just declare the variables and see what happens. I mean, I can't run it twice with those variable declarations, that's for sure, but I should be able to say draw index 0 at equals draw index 0 at equals draw index at should give me a 0, and then draw column, well, ACB, okay, so string column row, well, I should be able to say row 10, column 35, string array, but I don't really need an array, is V sub B equals A. Draw index 0. Oh, you're right. You're right. So 0. Draw index is at the top of the stack. No, that's... I'm still worried I have the assignments flipped. Okay. Let's go back here. We pop the top of the stack. That's the value. Then we pop the address. So no, I think I did it right before. The address should be there first. So store x1, add x2. Okay, so let me go back. Let me read it again. The value is what's being stored. So the top of the stack, and the second thing on the stack should be the address. Okay, so I think this is correct. Now this one might not be. Yeah, I don't think this one is. I got to get the index. I'm sorry, the value should be on top of the stack. So swap around. Ugh. I'm trying to get column on top, right? So that can't be right. I've got array column, so I want to do a swap draw column swap. Does that sound right? So now columns on top, then it switches to column string, column array row, and then it becomes draw column array row, and then it becomes column draw column add equals should do the assignment, I think. Okay, 1035 scaffold draw. Okay, something happened. It's progress. Okay, so my stack coming in after those assignments is some address, a 10, and then lilies. Okay, so that's all that's on the stack. So here, I wanted string array row, and I think that's probably what I got. It's not really quite a knit there, but But string array row, that seems plausible. Then the while says I have 0 string array string array. So I duplicated the array, draw index at. So draw index at just puts the integer and then the array. So should be int array. Index should be 0. Yes. And then at plus. Wait a minute. Yeah, at plus should be doing array sub value. Okay. Oh, I didn't call init scaffold. Scaffold init. Okay. Make rebel. Paste. Scaffold init. 1035 scaffold draw. Oh. 1035 scaffold space draw. Wait a minute, what the heck? Did I paste too much? Oh wait, this stuff's... String column row. Okay, these complaints must mean something. I wonder if I'm effectively dumping memory or something. 1035 scaffold draw. Okay. There's, oh no, there's that. Okay, so I put in this code. And then I guess I'm still compiling. Oh, that's no good. Okay, so I think I'm blowing up because I executed stuff in immediate mode that had no sense to it. Divide when there's nothing on the stack. Okay. All right. We'll take one more run and then we'll take a break. I don't know, is there anything else suspicious there? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that seems okay. Now this is... No, that's more... Let's find this. Well, that looks all right to me. I wonder if that colon is creating problems, but I think the other thing threw it off. Whoops. Yeah, it would be really nice to dump our evals. Okay, so scaffold init. Now, 1035 scaffold draw. I mean, this is really, really odd. Okay, that's my paste. Somewhere I typed 1035 scaffold draw. And it got destroyed. Okay, let's take a break. Come back. Break this down a little and see what's going on. And also, I'm suspicious about the colons. Um, um, let's say stack equals. Okay. That's what I'm worried that it's doing. Although I would have thought, I thought we were banging out and saying immediately jump down and start finding the next line, but maybe something else happened. It may be irrelevant, but I'm suspicious. So let's take a break back in 3 or 4 minutes and we'll work on this draw thing again. Welcome back. Okay, we changed those colons to equals just in the hope that some of this printing was getting a bizarre definition of something and doing it. I don't know. Not quite a... Okay. Now we should say scaffold init. Screen clear should be good. All right. And now 1035 scaffold draw. Now, that's like really weird. Okay. I'm going to take out the drawing part. So we come back row plus one array. Draw at. Okay, I'm going to. This is weird debugging, I guess, but I've got string call row array. I wish I had row plus one array, so I'll do a pop 1 plus, and now I have a row plus one array and see. Maybe I'll just take draw again, redefine draw. Oh, no, I got it. Make REPL, get everything. Okay, well, let's run our test all just for, okay, well, things are quiet. Screen clear certainly works. Screen move to certainly works. Okay, so scaffold init 1035 scaffold draw. I took out all the screen drawing commands, so it should do the move to, but not, oh no, it won't even do the move to, I don't think. Yeah, we just get this. Okay, so that helps a little, right? It means it's probably something in the routine. So debug 0 while, okay, so debug 0 draw index. Okay, so that's the index is incrementing its way around. That's good. We'd expect that. So let me take this out because we trust it now. The while we expect to come in with string array and row. Okay. While s equals, wait, while dot dollar add. We pop the string and we print the top three things. 7. Oh, we expect int array. Okay, so 7 array or 1 array seems plausible. Okay. Now the init big 10 lilies. Okay. So I think that seems all right too. Yeah, array then row. Okay. So I'll take those out. Now I'm going to focus on draw at. Draw at takes a string, a column, and a row. So we put row, column, string, and we expect row plus 1. So row, column, string. CAB brings the row to the, no, that's wrong. It brings, no, it's string, column, row. So CAB brings the row, string, column. Well, that's already wrong, isn't it? CAB. Row, column, string. I want CPA. Okay. Duplicate gives me row, column, string. 1 plus gives me row prime, row, column, string. CBA gives me column, row prime. Move to gives me row prime, string, swap, print, and row prime on stack. Okay. Okay, 10, 30, scaffold init. 10, 35, scaffold draw. Hey, that was so easy. Okay. We haven't done any of the hard parts yet. Okay. But yay, yeah. Only an hour plus. Okay. We did a little bit of other work, but not much. All right. Boy, it's so easy to get ABC mixed up with CBA. I gotta say, I'm making that mistake over and over. I'm sure I'd get better at it, but the comments are making the difference, though. I mean, that's critical. If you look at it and it doesn't do what the comment says, well, you know something now. Okay. Right. So I should be able to call Hangman as well. Okay. Well, screen clear and Hangman. Okay. It's a game almost. All right. Now, I don't know. I don't want to distract too much from anything, but I feel like I would really love to have I would really love to have passed the routine to call to this somehow. Like how, I don't know. We have the information if you pass a string. So I mean, you could make a variable and call that indirectly. Would that be good? Because I mean, part of the problem was, well, I guess once we isolated draw at, it was clear what was going on, but um, we would have benefited from testing a lot sooner, though. I mean, this is pretty dense code as it goes. You know, like you have to kind of step through every piece to make sure it makes sense. And I can understand if draw at is not manual is must be manually testable, But the whole while loop thing should not have been that. And I guess I'm just thinking if there was a variable that said draw routine or, yeah, draw one routine or something, and you called that, you do draw at, you'd make it contain, the test could make it contain a different name. Well, yeah, so the output of the terminal is only this, though. And even this, right? I mean, it's like the output is this and this. And everything else is kind of logic. And this is logic about repositioning the stack into the right order and incrementing row. And that's not really anything to do with drawing. I mean, I don't know if that's that routine. Well, okay, think of this pulled out. It's got column row prime string. Yeah, that's an awkward thing to say. I mean, it would be interesting to make, like, if I could somehow make this turn string column row into string column row plus one, or something like that. Or is there another order of the arguments? Well, I don't know. It's nice on the call site to say row column string. I mean, that truly is nice. I guess you could do the CBA thing right away, and then you've got it, in that order. Row prime. Yeah, there's no way to get that we don't have I want like a BCDA or something to put the value in the fourth thing. Now, can I get that? The only way I can get that is with some extra memory somewhere, right? I mean, there's no access otherwise. I mean, if this came in, I could definitely see a method that's like increment fourth, fourth item on stack, D plus plus or something. But yeah, I'm bugged because this logic is, I mean, I can believe this is kind of untestable to me. Or, manually testable because of screen stuff. But the rest of it, even in here, it's doing something a little unusual. And I guess it's relying on the fact that screen move to consumes it. Well, okay. Yeah, maybe this is... Yeah, I could at least test that logic separately. Well, if I had a way to test draw at, let's see, I could test draw at manually. You give it string column row, and it moves to it and prints it. This increment stuff, right? That's nothing to do with screen move to, and so it doesn't really belong in there. But this stuff, nothing in here draws except for this line. So I really would like to substitute that out because, we put in the debugging stuff, we could see the indexing was doing okay. But the rest of it was tricky to see. Now, I don't know I guess what I would expect. Well, even that increment thing, I don't know. I feel like I should pull that out as well. Put draw it on the stack. Yeah, on the stack or even a variable. I mean, I could see making draw routine a variable and its value is quote draw at when I'm in production, and it's quote capture string or something in testing. Um, Even there, like our facilities to capture strings are pretty darn limited. Um, but I do think there is something going on here that, like, why this increment has to happen here. I don't know if there's a way to pull it through. I mean, like, I could certainly do all that other stuff in this routine, but then I've still got the problem of not knowing it. I mean, I can make it easier. I could another variable might make it easier. Let's do that. So I'm thinking we're kind of in a refactoring phase now, and looking at this and going like, wow, 15 instructions that took us an hour to test. It's not a good ratio. Although really, we put this in, we put that in, we put length in, we put ABC in, we put isEmpty in. I mean, it's more than one routine we did in that time. But, but I think if you said, well, let's do draw row, and that's going to get incremented. Well, does that even? Yeah. Let's capture it. Okay, so string array column row. I mean, draw column is fixed. Okay, this has string array row. I don't know. I could just capture. Okay, let's do this. So let's. If I do CBA, I'm going to have row column array. And then I'm going to draw row, and I'm going to save it. Draw row swap. Well, no. I don't want to consume anything either. Okay. CBA dupe puts row column array. Well, no, I don't need it then. Okay, let's not do the dupe. Okay, CBA, and then draw row swap add equals. Right, so I'm initializing that. I guess this one doesn't matter. Let's put him first. Okay, so I'm doing row column array. I draw row swap. Whoops. Swap add equals. That consumes row and just leaves column array. And that swap, I don't think I need that anymore. Okay. And I come in here, draw column swap, consumes it and leaves array. Okay. Now, one 2326. Well, I don't think I'm going to need it with this new array stuff. So I think that'll be okay. So I'm coming in now with just string array. Okay, and I'll duplicate it, and I'll just have array. Draw index at, I will get draw index on there, and at plus looks up the row number, and I get that, and then I got bool array. Okay, now I do draw column at, Yeah, I don't think I want this. Well, I'm sorry, the do produces just the array. Okay. Now, string row array, do I need that? Well, the string isEmpty does not consume its value, string array, but bool do does. Okay, I think this is right. String array, and then we want to we're trying to get things in string column row array for the drawing stuff. Okay, so I think instead of this, we'll do draw row at. Okay, that gives us the row number, row string array. Draw at column gives us column row string array. And then I'll do a CBA and get string, so column row string, no, column, sorry. Column, I guess that's CAB. Gives string column row array. And then draw at needs string column row array. I'm going to put a twist in at some point here, but okay. He wants that. He puts that back, and then we get row plus 1. Let's store that for the moment. We'll store that swap add equal. Okay, so that consumes it. All we have is array. No, that's not going to be good. Well, I guess I'll say where I'm going. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that's simpler. If I take draw index at, now I have index string array. Draw this, that, plus, I want a plus here. Maybe I'll make it plus, very explicit. Okay, so I have row index string array. I don't need this row plus 1 stuff. Okay, now I have index plus row string array. That's the row I want to draw into with no funny business. A row is going to stay the original value. It's the stack that's changing. And then column. So I have row string, then I get column row string, and then string row column, and draw at. And now I don't need that return value, so I'll pop. We'll fix that later. And that just gives me array with the pop. Oh, come on. Okay. And then I don't need to swap because I'm not doing anything there. I'm just going to increment draw index. Okay, it's a little shorter. Let's see if that still works. So pop, we get the array. Draw index pushes the index on the stack. 1 plus draw index pushes the value on the stack and then swap and assign. Okay, let's take row plus 1 out of here. Okay, so my my claim is we're still going to draw at with string call row on the right thing, but we ignore the row plus one stuff. So if this works, okay, let's see. And oh, another thing we can do, I'm just going to call scaffold init right here. And then I don't have to forget about calling it. It's a constant. It's an array of constants, and it's a constant array of constants, I guess I should say. Makes some things a little better. Okay, so I'm going to quit this and run from scratch just because we did that assignment. Okay, and so if I did screen clear and then 1035 scaffold draw. Okay, so I think we made something equivalent and simpler. Now I think it can get simpler still. Okay, so the draw at complexity of having row plus one back so we can throw it away, we don't need that. So let's look at draw at. Okay, so he's got string column row. He wants column row string. All right, so string column row. So let's do CAB. No, BCA. We'll move column and row to the front and string there. And then at that point, okay, let's comment it. BCA makes it column, row, string. Okay, and then screen move to consumes those. We don't have a row prime. There's nothing to swap. And he prints, and this goes away. Okay, so that's simpler. Okay, screen clear. 1035, 1025. Let's mix it up. Scaffold draw. It pops the string. You're right. That might be draw at. Yeah, it's okay that it pops the string because we have the array. Yeah, the string was temporary. It was only there to be printed, so I think we're okay. Okay. What do I know? All right. Oh, I'm still popping down here. It produces just the array. Okay. And I should have checked this in before when it was working, before the refactoring. Live and learn. Yay. Okay. Good. ACP. Draw the scaffold and refactored. Okay. Yeah, because so the string is only needed. We look it up here, we keep it so we can print it basically. But to know where to print it, we have to do this calculation. Now this, right, this is suspicious to me. So this is the kind of optimizations we would do in this thing, right? The stack manipulations are telling us stuff's in the wrong order. And it'd be like, oh, if you just took call row string, wouldn't that be easier? So let's I guess I trust this enough. So if it came in the order call row string, we wouldn't need to do that. We would just move to column and row and make sure screen move to column row. Okay. So column row string would be a better order for us. And we had column row string and we did the CAB. So, okay. So now I think that should be less manipulation. Make REPL. This is like C before IDEs. Okay. Well, 1027 scaffold draw. Okay, so yeah, that's a little easier. Yeah, is it worth even having draw at? Well, it is in a sense because this is this is the least piece. I mean, we've basically organized everything to be no thinking on what do you do with this routine that we have to call manually. So I think that's actually the right level for us. So draw at moves to row column and draws the string. Okay. And everything else to get there is kind of the logic. Some of it was, well, we had a lot more swapping and duping and ABCing and CBAing before. Now they're pretty minimal. CBA flips it. Well, I guess what that tells you is, would it be better? Like, why do we need the CBA? Because we want to get stuff in the order row column string array. Well, we've got a caller, right? So let's go find our caller. Scaffold draw. I mean, would it be so much worse to say scaffold 1035 draw? I would say it's not any worse. And if we did that, then we would have this on the top. I'll say array. And then we don't need CBA. It's column row array now. Let's swap the order of these two. Okay, so swap equals goes to row array, and this goes to array. Okay. Column on top, we pop that and store it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I mean that's the kind of thinking in trying to improve these routines that you really look at with a critical eye at dupes, CBAs, CABs, and all that stuff, because that may mean you just have your arguments in the wrong order in the first place. And I don't think this is the most lovely thing, but I think, well, it gives us something because we can now pass arbitrary arrays of strings into it. That's something. I don't know if we need that. Well, we will, kind of. Okay. Yeah, definitely make it work, make it better. I can definitely see, whoops. I mean, we could definitely think about draw index at plus plus or something like that that would do an increment, right? I mean, that would be nice. All right, and so let's pull that out. And you know, this is more. This is almost to a level that anybody would use. You know, you could pull these into a library that was kind of compiled first or something. They're 10th level definitions, but they're of things that are in, you know, improvements to lower level stuff. Okay, so this says, well, let's get it in there first. All right, so this is really at plus plus is increment variable. Okay, and so we have the variable on the stack, variable address on the stack goes to nothing, but variable is incremented. Okay, and so that looked like at 1 plus, well, it's kind of this stuff. Okay, so we'll have to track things. At, we need the at twice, the address twice. So let's dupe it. Index. That's our thing. Okay. So dupe is array. No, variable. At is int var. 1 plus increments it. Var, and then draw index. We really want the value on the top. So, whoops. Yeah, that's okay. Swap. No, we want the we're okay. Yeah, we did it right. We have the variable on the bottom and the value on the top, so we just have to do our add equal. Okay, and yeah, I mean, I think even though it's a little awkward to do it, like we kind of have an extra dupe because before we used that word twice in the thing, it's okay. But yeah, so you do variable. All right, and then this one we can test. So let's test this. Well, let's call it test variables, test arithmetic. I don't know. Test increment. Let's make a test variable. Variable test var, test increment var. Okay, do test increment var at plus plus, and then test increment var. Okay, let's get this a little organized. Test increment plus plus. Then we're going to load the variable, get its contents. Let's set it to something first. Test increment var 7 add equal. And I guess maybe this is getting big enough. I'll put these in. Arrange, act, assert. 8. Okay. Set the variable to 7, increment it, load it, make sure it's equal to 8. Okay, and then this function will pull down. Okay. I mean, this is a post test, so a little cheesy. Make REPL. Test all. No complaints. Test increment. Test dash increment. Oh. Define at. Oh no. We'd have to let me mess up the definition and make sure it does something wrong. I'll put an extra 1 plus in. Yeah, these variables are annoying. All right. It's not as incremental with them as it could be. Okay, so test increment. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Let's name this with the proper naming. Whoops. I don't know if just all. Okay. It's a little disconcerting to have that quiet. All right, but we can say add an increment operator. Yeah, commit for sure. And let's use it. So we will call it at plus plus. So draw index at plus plus should get us back to here, right? We don't do this, swap equal, right? Okay, so yeah, that's getting there. The while having to duplicate things is pretty common. I don't think we'll escape that one. All right, let's make sure everything's still working here. Good. All right, I think that'll be good. And let's commit, use new increment operator. Okay. All right. I think we've improved it substantially. I don't feel as bad. I still hate that I can't replace this, because we could do everything. I mean, if you said this routine is going to, if you could substitute a routine that maybe accumulated a string and the string would print column row string, right? And then we would know, like, well, that's the stuff draw at's supposed to have, and he gets the right arguments, that'd be okay. I'd be pretty content with that. Where that string's going, all that stuff, that's more work for us. But this would say, given a column and row, we write the array of strings into the proper rows and columns, and it goes. That would be worth testing. Now, maybe, yeah, okay. So I don't think we don't have time to do it today. So, but I do feel like if I made a routine for this, made it so a string, however it got it, a string, and then something that was like, at, or, you know, at parentheses or something like that, would do an indirect call on that, and we could substitute that in. I think that's kind of a winner. Now, what I think it's kind of okay. I mean, we can't call. I mean, this is really a low level thing, right? I mean, it's taking that. It'll have the string as a string, and then it can do its normal dictionary lookup and call stuff. So it's going to be almost like its own little, start 2D or something, or I don't even know. It's going to take a little work, but I think it, in terms of testability. I mean, I just proved I can't write a scaffold in less than an hour. That's pretty bad. I think it would have taken less time in assembly language, honestly. Okay, so draw the scaffold. Yes, we've done that. Let's get this captured. I don't even know what I said for the action today. Screen drawing. Okay, we've done some. All right, screen drawing. Okay, we did draw the scaffold. We also created a ... debugging routine, debugging print. We created isEmpty dollar. We created at plus plus to increment a variable. This one's for string length. And what else? Draw at's kind of part of the scaffold. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's some extra accomplishments I'm happy for. All right. Let's go look. I guess we'll take a peek. We'll just anticipate, we'll spend the next few minutes looking at, I suppose it's start 2D is going to be where this is done. Let's find that. Interpreter. Well, no, I guess it's the routine at that's going to take the thing on top of the stack. It's almost like its own little mini REPL, right? It's going to look up. Let's get to REPL. It's more like edit evaluates working on a string, on a word. Okay, so check for number, word not found. Where's the word get executed? Handle a known word. Right, it's almost like that. Except it's got to do the dictionary search first. And if it doesn't find it, it does something. Just where I draw at the test. Well, yeah, that's what I want to do is make it so you could call draw routine, and then the draw routine variable, we'd push draw routine on the stack. It's going to be a string, and that will call. I guess we don't need a variable. We just call the string. It'll look up the variable. No, it'll look up the string. Yeah, sorry, we do need a variable. The variable will hold a string. We'll push the variable on the stack. Then it'll have a string on the stack. And we can look it up just like we do here. It's almost exactly this block of code, except there's no check for numeric. Oh, sorry. Okay, banged it hard enough. Yeah, I think something very similar to this will be what happens. We'll say, give us the name of a variable. I don't know, maybe we need the variable or the string. If we just took the string, they could do it. They give us the variable and they at $, and that would get the string. We'll have to see. but yeah, that's almost what it is call, And if you gave a string, it would call that method. And if you gave a variable that contains a string, it'll call the variable contained in that string. Or, we'd have to make a separate, but maybe a call and call at. Call takes a string, call at takes a variable. And then it would search for that. If it doesn't find it, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll have to figure out what to do in that case. Otherwise, we'll load the registers like you're supposed to and call the routine you just looked up. So yeah, very, very close. Takes a string on the stack. Yep. Let's put that in. Oh, given the word draw the initial dashes. Okay, we're not there yet. Define call that takes a string on the stack and calls the named method. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Given that, we could write a test. And I think, well, I don't know, our test, maybe it just counts the number of times it does it or something. It's going to have a variable to put something somewhere, but that's okay. So let's use call to define a test for draw. Okay, I'll say it like that. That'll give us a place to go tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. Well, I think this is a good place to stop then. So we will pick up there tomorrow, put in the debugging stuff. Let's see, tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. So we'll implement this tomorrow just to get, because everything we do, we're going to want to replace something because they all end up drawing because it's a game, So there's a lot of logic that's not the drawing. It's calculating what to draw, but I want to be able to test that. So we couldn't test with what we have now because it produced IO, but we can write tests that substitute. So call will let us do that. I think that code we just saw is pretty close to it, so I don't think it's going to take that long. We'll go back and rewrite our test for this one and then move forward to the next thing, which I guess is, well, this is pretty trivial. This is more interesting. And then we need some sort of loop that does the game. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll finish tomorrow by any stretch, but yeah, I think we will finish this game next week. But we'll finish the call stuff tomorrow and some other stuff. Okay. Thanks for joining and thanks for your help as always. Clearly needed. I'll just put it that way. It's really like going back to being a beginner programmer. It's like, I mean, I know I haven't used this language before really, but it's like, man, I mean, our environment is not as supportive as you could ask for, but still. Okay. All right. Well, take care. Have a good evening tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 or Eastern time or 6 to 8:30 UTC. Take care. Good night.